Hey, this is Coaster Chall on board Bill for Theme Parks, and welcome to another Coaster Chall review. Now, this is from the S&S-L Loco roller coaster that opened in 2009. It is Mumbo Jumbo over at Flamingo Land in Bolton, North Yorkshire. Now, I first did this coaster way back, it's the only time I've done this coaster, way back in 2014. So you can see how long I've been doing these coasters for, whether it's for the first and only time or whether for the final time, whether it's a closed coaster or not. Hopefully not. So we're going to start then with this review from Mumbo Jumbo. So as usual, we like to do things in 4 different categories here on Coaster Chall Reviews, which turned out to be a brilliant playlist on the channel. One of the signature playlists, the reviews and vlogs, along with Newsroom. And the other series to follow as well. We've got more new series set to come on the channel over the summer holidays, so stay tuned for more updates and announcements on our brand new series, or series, if that's the correct grammar. So let's move into the review then from Mumbo Jumbo. So starting off with queue line and station atmosphere. Now, in terms of station atmosphere, there isn't much, but of course we're basing it on station atmosphere and queue line atmosphere as well, and the look of the queue line and things like that. So it couldn't just be actual audio atmosphere, it can also be physical atmosphere. Is there any theming around the queue line, things like that. Of course, same with the theming around the ride, but this is all about queue line. So in terms of queue line theming, there isn't that much. I mean, there's like a net roof as you go into the cave arch entrance of Mumbo Jumbo. I love the logo of Mumbo Jumbo, by the way. Love the logo of that. Nice little African guy in the tiki mask and the orangey yellowy writing. I have been wanting to get back out to Flamingo Land as soon as possible. The reason I haven't really got back out to Flamingo Land as much as I would like to compared to other parks is because they haven't really had anything that's exciting me at the minute. I mean, of course, last time I went to Flamingo Land I did their Sky Flyer. The year before it was relocated to Pleasure Island for its final season of operation as Volta. I believe the ride's gone somewhere else now, but it was at Pleasure Island in its final year before the Pleasure Island theme park closed. I want to see a new theme park on that site, and I'll do a separate video on that in due course in the future. But yeah, just with Flamingo Land, there hasn't really been any exciting attractions. Of course, they've got the Flamingo One go-karts, which replaced I think a couple of little attractions here and there, but they're just like little attractions, I guess. But the go-karts seemed like a nicely themed ride, I guess. But it just didn't excite me as much. It reminded me of Autopia, but sort of a minimalistic version of Autopia, but I guess maybe not. I mean, take this as a pinch of salt, but according to attractions near me, about a week or 2 ago, there was a report that said that the Mischief Mansion that used to be known as Little Den of Mischief, Little Den of Monsters, I think it is. Apparently, that's been ripped out because it was unpopular, and apparently it's been replaced by a VR attraction this year. Take this as a pinch of salt. I'll mention it again in the UK theme park season preview video coming in a few weeks' time. I'd rather do that video at the end of February, start of March, just because the season really begins in March. I know Blackpool Pleasure Beach and that opened in February, but I'd rather kick off the previews end of February, start of March. So I'll mention it again then. But again, take that with a pinch of salt. I don't think it's confirmed, but again, that's what the previews are. It's for confirmed and unconfirmed attractions coming to the UK in 2019, so stay tuned for that. But again, going back to Mumbo Jumbo, in terms of queue line station atmosphere, rounding it up, I know I've gone on about why I haven't gone to Flamingo Land and things like that, but back to the actual ride itself. In terms of queue line station atmosphere, apart from the cave arch entrancing and the fenced queue line with the netting over the top, over a little section of the queue line, I don't really see much. I think they've got so much potential with that. They could have really put some audio on in the queue line, because I definitely didn't hear any audio when I was there. I think they could have done some more theming. I think they could have themed the station a bit more, add some audio to the station as well, but they just didn't do that. So in my opinion, this should only get a 4 out of 10 at best, because the fencing, I guess, looks very African-y, but it's like a plain old generic wooden fence queue line. The net sort of kind of makes it feel a bit, gives it the African vibe. you know, because it feels like an old shelter in a way. So I guess it gives off that kind of tribal vibe, but nothing really more, I guess. Now onto the theming around the ride. This gets a 0 because there's no theming around the ride whatsoever. So that's a very quick review, 0 out of 10 for theming around the ride. Now the layout, I'm going to give it a decent 5.5. Now I'm only giving this 5.5 because it's your typical S&S El Loco layout. It did, of course, take the steepest drop in the world record. Before off of Saw, and then Takabisha took it off of Mumbo Jumbo. So, and then of course the new Nickelodeon Universe coaster in New Jersey is taking it off of Takabisha. So again, the steepest drop on any coaster record has been passed around over a number of years, but Takabisha sort of held it for a while, and now New Jersey's coming and took the record this year. So I guess it's got that record to be proud of, but apart from that, I don't think the layout has got any sort of complexity or wow factor to it. It's like any old standard El Loco model. The track colours, I guess you could say they're a good match. Orange and black, I guess you could say they've got kind of a match. I say kind of. It's got some kind of mixy-matchy sort of mix-up in a way. But I still think it could have been a bit of a wow factor. I just don't think it wowed me as much. So that's why this layout's only getting 5.5 out of 10. So overall then, I'm only going to give this about a 6.5 out of 10, just because if you add it all together, you sort of give off that 6.5 out of 10 kind of ride experience and coaster experience. I mean, I wasn't really that impressed as I should have been. I mean, I was really excited to do, it was on a school trip back in 2014, so it was part of like this summer school thing. It was like a trip at the end of the year, so I was really excited when it got around to doing it, but when I first saw a Mumbo Jumbo, I thought this is going to be amazing, this is going to be incredible. And I just wasn't impressed. I really just wasn't impressed. So I'm only going to give this 6.5 out of 10. I don't think it was. I think it was an alright coaster. I think it rode well as a coaster. It was very smooth, and it didn't hurt as much, especially those over-the-top S&S restraints. It didn't hurt as much. It was rough in a couple little places, but it's only like a little rough. It's not like the full, you know, hero roughness factor. And I can't wait to give you that review. I cannot wait to film the hero review, because I'm going to be ranting and raving like a madman in a straitjacket. But no, it was only like little bits of roughness in a couple of places, but it was smooth, so as a ride experience as it rides in any of the seats, because I managed to get loads of rides on Mumbo Jumbo back in 2014 when I last did Flamingo Land. You know, I've tried every seat, and it gives off the same ride experience, and apart from those little tiny bits of roughness in a couple of places, it's actually a smooth ride. So that's why I sort of give it 6.5. If it was quite a rough ride, if it was more rough but not as rough as it could have been, it would have been about 5.5 or a 5. If it was really rough, you'd be seeing a 4.5 or a 4, maybe even a 3.5 out of 10 rating. But because the ride, even though the atmosphere and what the potential could have been with the African theme let me down, the ride experience itself, as it rides as a coaster, was actually pretty alright. It was quite smooth for an S&S, so that's why I sort of give it 6.5 instead of about 5.5 or a 4. So again, 6.5 out of 10 for Mumbo Jumbo. So that's this review then from Mumbo Jumbo at Flamingo Land. Of course, I'm going to be reviewing another Flamingo Land coaster in due course in the future, which is of course the Vekoma SLC Kamali, and you'll see why it's my favourite Vekoma SLC for now. Of course, I'm still yet to do some more Vekoma SLCs out there. I'm sure there's the Mayan roller coaster at Energylandia over in Poland, Blue Tornado at Gardaland in Italy. So there's loads of Vekoma SLCs left to do. Bandit over at Movie Park Germany, Limit at Heidi Park. Of course, I've already done Infusion as well as Kamali, and I rate Kamali over Infusion any day of the Flaming Week. So again, really looking forward to doing that review. I hope you guys are excited for when I release the review from Hero, because like I said, I'm going to be ranting and raving like a madman in a straitjacket. That's going to be an absolutely crazy review, because I don't even think that rating's going to pass the 3 mark. So I hope you guys are ready for that review. So thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a video. My name is Coaster Chall, keep living the coast life, my dudes, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care, have an awesome day, my friends.